listening to the Shite Talk podcast show. Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite Talk podcast show. Martin Ken.
What's up?
On episode 234 of the Shite Talk podcast show.
Yeah, 234.
Yeah, we're getting through.
Did you know
Go on.
that there's only ever 1, 2, 3, 4?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
All right, that's 1,234. We're a little bit ahead of time, Ken, on that one. Okay, let's get our power dynamic going. I fuck up maths. You correct me. It shouldn't be the other way around. Something's happened here.
There's only ever 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, right, fair enough. Yeah. Well, I don't know. We had 2 132s, so
Let's see what happens.
yeah. So like sometimes we have double numbers. Without realizing it.
Yeah, I do numbers good.
Yeah, you do the numbers good. I don't. This is what we got going for each other.
Yeah, this is what it works.
Yeah, exactly. We can't have 2 people good at numbers. People won't know what's going on. They'll be confused.
Yeah.
We actually have kind of a rarity on the show today.
What? Good stories.
Yeah, good stories. We have a positive story this week. I don't really know what it is. Ken just said there is quite a famous boxer who's going to be a legend of a week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it has to be Tyson Fury. He's like how Machine Gun Kelly is always an idiot a week. Like, I think Tyson Fury, legend of the week status. Ireland's darling. Ireland's sweetheart, I think was call him. Darling sounds like condescending. What do you think?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's okay, but it's not Tyson Fury.
Yeah. It's not Tyson Fury. Cool. It is Tyson Fury, but it's Tyson Fury, but Ken has also another one, bar Tyson Fury. Is what we're saying. Miami Beach, they do a great job of like having it's not Mardi Gras, what is it again? What happens on Miami? Well,
Spring break.
Spring break. Yeah, spring break happened this week, and Miami's now in a state of an emergency, and we'll be talking about why that is. We'll also be talking about our lorry driver and his neighbour, and why it's not good to steal. Yeah, so an educational one for all kids. Maybe not.
Education for all kids.
All kids. You can crank that one up on the old school bus there.
Crank it up in the school bus.
Then our idiots of the week is Kylie Jenner, a man who thought he had a gay dog, Arlene Foster. Am I forgetting someone?
No, I think that's about it.
That's yeah, cool. Yeah. So, how was
Machine Gun Kelly in there as well if you want.
What?
We could throw Machine Gun Kelly in for the crack if you want.
Yeah, we actually have 2 tickets to give to Ken, to Machine Gun Kelly for his 3 Arena show. You can check him out with whatever his side band's called.
The Wank Stains.
Imagine, that would be a great side band. If you're a punk band, Machine Gun Kelly and the Wank Stains. It's a great. It's actually a class name for Machine Gun Kellys.
Yeah, don't go stealing it. It's copyrighted.
Copyrighted by Ken Studios.
Yeah.
So, how was your St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patrick's Day, really, innit?
Yeah.
I didn't really do much. I didn't go making any weird friends around up in town.
Oh, well, that's what I did. In terms of, because like after St. Patrick's Day, inevitably we had record numbers of cases. They stopped counting for St. Patrick's Day. They're like, we'll take the weekend off, and so then when they start,
4-day weekend.
Yeah, exactly. They started counting them again. Like, holy fuck. Like, I think at the peak we were getting like 30,000 cases a day. It was like, we have 60,000 cases.
Yeah.
And I just imagine the epicenter of COVID. If you looked at a diagram in Ireland, the epicenter and the center of that kind of like splurge would be like Temple Bar, because this is like everyone in Temple Bar in Paddy's Day was just like swamped. It's just like from there, and that's where I was. So
surprise.
I made so many lovely new friends, talked shite throughout the whole night, and then it was great. I ended up in my friend's house when I wasn't really meant to be in my friend's house. It was great. It was good. And like, who doesn't like a good St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I could take it or leave it now, to be honest.
Now, there's flags, there's cheering, there's green, there's everybody is happy other than Ken, maybe Arlene Foster. But we'll get
Arlene Foster's not too happy about it either.
Before we get on to why Arlene Foster isn't thrilled with St. Patrick's Day for probably obvious reasons, did you see that there was two separate parades? So like, it's not just Dublin that has a St. Patrick's parade. There's there's several of them scattered around the country. And some are like in other cities in Ireland. Others are in small towns, and they can range from just a guy in a tractor with like a load of kids in hay on like hay bales. To some are ridiculously bad. Some are great that they're so small and shitty that they're great. You'd want to go to them just to see how ridiculously small and shitty and crappy their parade is, and they kind of buy into that kind of crappy, shitty parade. Others try to be creative, and like in two separate parades, there was a story that we covered during a few months, probably 2 months ago, was it?
Yeah, maybe.
It was of these two lads from Carlow who carried a dead body of one of the lads' uncles into a post office to try to collect his pension, and then panicked when people who were behind the till realised that your man is dead and pointed out to them. So they dropped the dead body and legged it out to the post office. They were later arrested quite quickly on, and they were like, "Oh well, we were helping him to the post office, and then he suddenly died."
Yeah, like, that's happened to us all. Have you seen Waking Ned?
The amount of people that bought into that, I was like, who would fucking believe? Like, what guard would go, fair enough, these are good lads. There's people I was talking to, they're like, well, no, apparently, actually, what happened was they were wheeling him in by a wheelchair and he died and they just didn't realise. I was like, no, they dragged him down the street.
Like, how would you not realise that the man was dead? Were you not talking to him on the way down? Like,
we're going to collect your penalty. He's awfully quiet. Why do we have to carry?
He's quiet.
Yeah,
we might get a few bob out of this.
Yeah, why is his feet dragging? He's just sleeping. Let's just get this over with. Get back to
He's sleeping with his eyes open and his mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
He's stone cold.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that incident, two separate parade people were like, that would make a great St. Patrick's Day float. So they had someone dressed up with post office on them, and had like some old I don't know if it was just an old lady who they just kind of dragged, or they just got like a mannequin, but dragged them throughout the parade of just two guys holding this mannequin. Let's just take it was a mannequin, and it's probably safe bet, and be like, oh yeah, look who we are. We're the people from Carlow.
It'd be even better if it was in the Carlow parade.
But yeah, apparently people from Carlow weren't too happy about this, and there was uproar to be had when the good people of Carlow found out, but the people having fun at their expense, they were not happy. It kind of ruined it for St. Patrick's Day. They were giving out.
People in Carlow are a bit uptight.
I'm sure Joe Duffy had a fill of it after.
Oh, I'd say he had the nipple clamps on.
What?
You've never seen the Savage Eye clip, and he's like, Joe W's like, oh yeah, he's telling you about the misery. Are you miserable? And he's putting like nipple clamps on and stuff. He's like, oh yeah.
No. But yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was such good black humor. There's some or dark humor, as it's probably called it. Some real like real typical Irish dark humor. I was like, I'm so glad this went away, and there wasn't somebody go, no, we can't do that. That's very offensive.
There probably was somebody saying we can't do that, and somebody else said,
fuck it, we're doing that. We're doing it anyway. Okay, we're crap. And,
nobody ever listens to you anyway, Jacinta.
Jacinta, shush now. And they're like, see, we did it, and everyone thought it was funny. And then just a few days later, people in Carlo.
A few days later, yeah, we're in trouble. We're getting sued by Carlo.
Carlo are giving out. Carlo always gives out.
That's because they're shit.
You think everywhere outside Offaly is shit, though?
No, it awfully is shit.
Okay, you think everywhere is shit. Is there anywhere in Ireland you don't think is shit?
I kind of like Mayo.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go, Mayo. Ken actually likes you.
Yeah, Mayo is not too shit.
We now know 3 things that Ken likes.
What were the 3 things?
It's pizza.
I don't really like pizza.
Oh, you don't like pizza? Okay, McDonald's. Sorry, McDonald's.
Yeah, like that. McDonald's is okay.
Yeah. McDonald's is. Yeah, it's and see that. It's only ever okay. It isn't like it isn't spectacular or anything like that. It's like it's just barely passable.
Yeah, that's what my mom always gives out about that.
What?
Like everything with me is either shit or it's all right.
Yeah, my girlfriend gives out about me that I say grand too much. Grand's just everything is. I say yeah, like even when I'm talking about her, I go, "Oh yeah, you're grand." She does not like that.
She knows you're Irish, right?
Because we were in Italy before, and we were looking for a restaurant. Oh my god! Like if it was just me, it would be like first place there, grand. It's good. Let's go here. She's like, no, I don't like that place. And she'll pick like some small, minute thing. No, there's not enough people in it. No, there's too many people in it. No, I don't like the look of the menu. No, I don't like this. I'll be like, what about there? It's grand. There, grand. Like, everything's grand with you. It's like, yeah, everything's grand. I kind of figured how we pick restaurants is the same way we also pick people on Tinder. Like she'll go through a fine comb. Everything has to match up. I'm like, yes.
I have nothing to compare that to because I have never used Tinder.
Okay, but are you just kind of saying where your user like kind of grand? Let's go there. Let's see what it's like. And Aiden's like a bit more picky, or are you kind of fussy one? And Aiden's like, "Come on, Ken, I'm actually starving."
We're kind of 50-50.
All right, so you're both kind of fussy.
Yeah, well, like it depends. Like sometimes I'm less fussy, sometimes she's less fussy. It kind of depends on what the crack is.
Yeah, I remember one of the guys that we know from training said what he wants to invent is an app. And now I'm going to give his invention away now, but like I don't think anybody will buy it. That's a dice that has different takeaway options. So you rattle your phone, and the dice falls on like pizza or burgers or whatever. And then you go there. So when he's like can't pick on what you want to eat, you do take out the app and go, oh, what are we going to have? And it says like Burger King. I was like, the problem with that is you're going
that I'm going to steal it.
Yeah, you'd be like, I don't really want Burger King. Like, okay, let's roll again. I think you're just going to be fucked that phone out the window.
Yeah, because that's always what happens. Like you always go, oh, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick something random, and then you're like, oh, that's not the thing that I wanted to come up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't know what I want to come up, but I don't feel it's not what my heart really wants.
Yeah.
I kind of get you, but yeah, I don't know how we got from dead people parades on parades to me and Ken both agreeing that well, I'm not a fussy eater. I'll eat anywhere, and Ken being like, yeah, sometimes.
I know exactly how we got there.
How do we get there, Ken?
We got there because shite talk.
It is, and it's time which happens every Shite Talk podcast show. We normally leave this to the last, but like I think the most interesting is their legends of the week. So we're going to get through our idiots of the week, and we're going to leave our show on a high, set it low, which we normally do. So this is part of the show created for idiots, by idiots, and it's where we talk about people doing pretty dumb things.
Yeah.
So Ken has our first idiot of the week, and our first idiot of the week kind of tie it back to we were talking about St. Patrick's Day just there. Somehow we got onto pizzas. I don't know. Ken just said it's shite talk. But yeah, anyway, back to Paddy's Day. Arlene Foster is on our idiots of the week. Why?
So Arlene Foster doesn't like St. Patrick's Day because she finds it offensive.
What is offensive about St. Patrick's Day?
She finds it offensive that everybody wears green and everybody basically waves the tricolour and all this stuff because she's Protestant and she's a unionist.
If only the unionists had a day themselves where everyone else would just celebrate being a unionist.
Yeah, that's what everybody's pointing out. They're like, there's that whole 12th of July thing there where you like literally
celebrate beating up Catholics. Yeah, it's like celebrate beating up Catholics. It's the day. I wonder it's because like St. Patrick's Day took off, whereas whatever their day is called didn't.
12th of July.
Yeah, yeah, but like, isn't there like Orange Man Day? Isn't there a name on it?
It's just called. It's the 12th of July. That's all it's really called.
All right. Well, they didn't see these. Okay, marketing is her downfall. Then they need to have it like St. Patrick's Day or the Orange Man Day. If they had the Orange Man Day and they had just a giant orange man, and they're like, "Oh yes, look at how fun we are. We can be fun. We're partying people too." People who might buy into unionism, but no, do you know what? It's like kind of Ken. Unionism is like Ken. You're all negative. No one likes negative. Everyone wants to be positive. Let's go to Temple Bar. That's how this happens.
Okay, then, Mark.
Fuck you. I'm not like. But like, other than the Ken's like unionist, I don't think you're like unionist. But I do think you're negative.
Thanks, Mark.
This is the true hurts, Ken. So, like, other than that, like, if there is an open goal, Arlene Foster seems to kick the ball into the net every single time. Like, in terms of, like, how can we garnish support for the unionist movement? It's like, I hate the colour green. I hate St. Patrick's Day. I hate anything other than unionism. And that's not unionism can go to hell.
Like, even worse, she didn't like just, go onto like Twitter and like whinge about this. Like, this is printed in a paper. Like, she has a column in I think it's the fucking Express or something, and like she wrote about it like at length about how she hates St. Patrick's Day because it's offensive, and she finds it offensive that the American president celebrates St. Patrick's Day and all this shite.
Because he's Irish. There's a huge connection. And by the way, there was a huge connection with the Ulster Scots and America too, except they never kept that fucking relationship alive. They never kind of like did anything to keep that alive. So guess what? It died. And we continue to go, here, let's have a parade and be happy about it. Let's celebrate something instead of giving out about things. Like, yeah, same thing. Another thing, because Sinn Féin wrote a column in New York Times and about it's now time to talk about United Ireland thing, and really pushed the kind of United Ireland thing home. The radio were like, oh, we'll get unionists on to talk to them about how much they don't want to unite Ireland, and so they had a unionist on. They're like, well, we kind of feel like you don't want us or something like that. They made some kind of message like. You want the idea? You like the idea of having United Ireland more than the idea of having us, because you wouldn't fucking get rid of your Irish language now. It's like if one of the things was like you gave up the Irish language in order to have a United Ireland. Would you be prepared to do that? And they're like, well, I think most people probably would, because we don't really use the Irish language anyway. It wouldn't be that big of a problem to us.
I still don't think people would do it.
I think it'd be very odd, right? for a country go, we're going to ban this language. And we're going to ban any other language is okay, but Irish, no, forget about it.
Especially since there was a whole big hoo-ha-ha to get recognised by Europe.
Yeah, and it's actually holding, it's in some parts of Ireland, their first language.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, sorry, you guys can go to hell. You 6 counties can get fucked. We finally got what you call it, the Nordies on board, but later on we'll get used back on board, and it's just going to be a yin yang of like, well, you can have Irish, you can have the North, and we're like, oh.
Yeah, we'll have a compromise then, right? So we can get rid of the Irish language and we'll get rid of the English language.
Chinese it is.
We all speak fucking Russian.
And no, let's go Chinese, because Russian mightn't be around anymore.
Yeah, but Russian's probably looking a little bit more realistic right now.
How is it? They can't even invade. They can't even invade Ukraine.
They're going to fucking control Europe.
Well, no, they can't. They can't control Ukraine. Which is like,
yeah, wait till he presses the big red button. Right?
Yeah, but then other people press their big red buttons. You know, like the fact that he has to resolve to, okay, time to hit nukes on Ukraine. Like, it was meant to be finished in 3 days. Russia are shit. Russia are really, really shit right now. They look shit. I know there's like the whole, you know, your rest of the world giving them like fighter jets and giving them bombs and giving stuff, giving assistance that way, but still. It's like their troops are all over the place. They need railways in order to pass things. If they don't have railways, they can't function. And it's just like, well, what happens when you want to invade a country that you're not connected by rail? Russia. Russia should be on our idiots of the week for that reason, for not having a good army. Bad Russia.
No, I think we should leave Russia alone.
Well, I don't think we should be as fearful of Russia as you think we should. They're fairly good at like hacking stuff, in fairness.
Yeah, so maybe we should just leave them alone.
By the way, we were always kind to Russia. By the way, we might have said some nasty things to us there, but like, you know, well,
we're always kind to Russia, except just now.
Except just now. Let's just push that past behind us. That's now in the past. Let's put it behind us. Let's build a future again. And I'm like, yeah, Ken, you're always negative.
Yeah, it's Mr. fucking negative over
there. Russia can't invade Ukraine, for fuck's sake. We're okay. Let us know when you go past your nearest neighbour. There's a lot more harder people after this. We'll be your golden goose prize.
Your golden goose prize.
Yeah, so Kylie Jenner.
Moving on.
Kylie Jenner. She's in our idiots of the week.
Yeah, permanent resident.
Have you been following this story?
No, but I well believe that she's an idiot. So, I won't take much convincing, Mark.
So, have you thought about naming your kids right now?
Yeah.
So you have a few, like,
I've been thinking about.
Yeah, you probably should. Like, you should probably get on that. It's like, well, she has named her child, but she's suddenly gone, do you know what? I don't want this name for him. I'm changing. So she's changed it. I don't know what age her child. I think it's quite new. I think it's like.
Actually, I did kind of hear about this.
Actually. I think it might be like a month old at this stage.
I have a theory though.
What?
My theory is that the name that she announced was never the name.
What do you mean? Oh, well, we'll get into the story because you hold that theory.
Yeah.
All right. So. Like, so she I think the baby's quite young. I think it's about a month old, or 4 weeks. Isn't that what they do? Do you go weeks?
4 weeks is a month.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know, people don't go a month old. They go 4 weeks, and then after, like,
do they?
Yeah, people go fucking, like, some people go mad with their weeks. It's like, oh, it's about 36 weeks. So like a year.
I know people go mad with months and they go like, oh, they're like 20 months old.
Yeah, exactly. And then after they realize weeks are ridiculous at this stage, so just go, okay, what months are they? And then they continue until that sounds ridiculous. And you're like, okay, the kid's 5.
Yeah, my kid is 105 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, your kid's like 2
So
or 5.
yeah, like, and
Fucking-
I guess like it can probably happen to anyone that like you go, do you know what? Now I think about it, the kid doesn't look like a whatever, but wait until you hear what the kid's name is. So she's obviously clearly a Gladiators fan, and by Gladiators I don't mean the movie Gladiators or the '90s remake. I mean '90s Gladiators, where the star of it was a character called Wolf, because that's what she named her kid, Wolf.
Yeah, but it's not the name that she announced that isn't actually really the kid's name.
Well, that's the name. She was Wolf. Now she changed it to something else.
Yeah, that's where my theory is that it was never Wolf.
Well, she had a bit of corona and coughed. She was Wolf.
No, she just fucking told everybody just to be a fucking troll because they love people talking about them. Them fucking Kardashian Jenner fucking idiots.
Oh, you think they did this for publicity? Do you know what the kid's name is now?
Not a clue.
Dog.
Dog.
Yeah.
Pup.
Pup. Be dog later. Pup now. James. This is our new baby James. So like she's in there this week for first naming her kid Wolf. But then suddenly come to the realization that no, Wolf isn't a good name for a child.
Yeah, it could literally it could just all be a big dirty publicity stunt.
And no one in your life until then, they go on, do you know what? Maybe don't name your kid Wolf. Maybe you name your kid something a little bit less weird.
Yeah, Wolf isn't that bad.
West was bad.
What was bad?
West.
Yeah, West is bad.
And North.
Your fucking kid's name is... Yeah, like when your kid's surname is West and you named him North, that tells you everything you know about a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually think Wolf was that bad.
Well, I do. And most other people would.
It's obviously just short for Wolfgang.
Wolfgang.
Yeah, like
Wolfgang. So Wolfgang is a acceptable. So you walk into a shop and you go, you're trying to hire people, right? And this guy goes, "What's your name?" Wolfgang Murphy. And you're like, "Great name, first of all."
Yeah. Yeah, what's wrong with it? Like, it's a legitimate name.
Wolfgang.
Wolfgang is a name.
A first name.
Yes, Wolfgang is a first name.
In Iceland.
No, not in Iceland.
Oh well, I've never heard of Wolfgang.
Have you ever heard of Mozart?
Mozart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wolfgang was his first name.
Wolfgang, okay. It was used in the 1800s. Wolfgang was used. So I don't think it's right now.
You know Eddie Van Halen?
What?
You know Eddie Van Halen?
No.
You know Van Halen, the band?
Yeah.
You know the guitar player, Eddie Van Halen?
No.
No, the guitar player, his name's Eddie Van Halen, and his son, his name is Wolf.
Wolf.
Yeah, his name is Wolfgang.
That's because he probably named him while on drugs.
No, he named him after Mozart.
After a line of cocaine. Bought from a guy called Mozart.
Like, it's a legitimate name.
I think I think naming your kid Wolf or Wolfheart or Lionheart or anything with an animal's name should be thought about twice and then forgotten about.
Hey, don't forget there's parts of the world where they think that Mark is a crazy name.
Is it? No, there's variants of Mark in different languages all over the world.
Yeah, but there's places where Mark would be considered like weird.
Not really. Like Marcus Aurelius, god of war. That's where it came from.
From a fictional character.
Yes, from a fictional character. Everything's made up though. You know, if you think about it. Not to get too deep on this. When we talk about the gay dog.
Let's go with the gay dog.
So our next idiots a week is from a couple. I think it's a couple because they don't say man; they say couple over and over again. So a couple in North Carolina who abandoned a dog. Well, at least they abandoned the dog at a shelter, so they didn't like just kick it inside the road because they thought the dog was gay. Ken.
Fair enough.
Now the thing I don't get, the dog was fairly old. at this stage. The dog was believed to be about 4 years old, and it was left in the animal shelter by its owner, who found him dominating other dogs in a sexual manner.
Right, now this is the thing. Dogs dogs do stuff like hump each other as like signs of dominance.
Yeah, like I have a male dog, and sometimes he licks other dogs' penises. My mum,
Like,
my mum,
that's a bit weird.
and I'm like, maybe he's just curious, and he just likes the taste. He doesn't know he's doing him a favor.
But like dogs, like if you have male dogs together, like obviously they decide that they're in a pack and they hump each other to decide who the dominant one is, who the alpha dog is.
Yeah, so that's what like so animal experts came on to like explain to them, like not to them, they're like, okay, we'll take your dog, but explain like the reason is they are like, he's doing all these sexual things with male dogs, he's definitely gay. Let's get rid of him. So like, I wonder if once they'd adopted him, that's what I'm thinking, that he adopted him from this animal shelter. And we're like, can you please take this dog back and give us a straight dog because this one's gay? And they're like, what? And they're like, this one keeps like humping other male dogs and doing like licking their dick.
I don't like this one.
Yeah. Can you give us a straight dog? Just any straight dog you have. It can be boy or girl. And they're like,
anyone will do.
any of them will do. Now, I do think there are animals in the wild that have shown preferences towards the same-sex animals. I don't know this as fact. It's like, I think I've seen it in a documentary somewhere. It could be completely wrong. Don't quote me on this, but I think there are certain animals that show preference. I don't know. I'm going to shop.
Please, Mark. Keep.
Yeah. Here's a shovel. So yeah, so one animal expert has explained that this might be that dog is gay, but one of the reasons could be because he has high testosterone and is just really aggressively towards other dogs. He also said this could just be him trying to assert his dominance over other dogs in a attribute. And then he also goes and talks about the pack thing that you just talked about, that there's like a pack in order, and like kind of seeing trying to test the other dogs to see where he is in the pack.
Yeah, that's generally why they do it.
Yeah. So that was our idea this week. Kylie Jenner, Arlene Foster, and the people who thought their dog was gay. Now, a gay couple heard about the story and then adopted the dog from the animal shelter. So all ends a happy ending. I wonder if they're going to bring him back. I wonder if they'll bring it back if they find out the dog isn't gay. Like if the dog suddenly comes in heat and impregnates a female dog, they're like, hey, we bought this dog because we're guaranteed love dick.
Does it say that the dog was male?
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Why?
No, that's just thinking like maybe you're just assuming there that the dog is male, but it wasn't.
Well, they said gay dog, and they said, it did say it was dominated or male dogs. So like, yeah, we'll take it that it is a male dog. So we'll move on away from our idiots of the week. We won't get another Legends week just yet. We're going to leave that to the end, but we definitely will make sure we get it into the show, because I know everybody's super excited to hear about what our Legend of the week is this week. Do we have like we have an intro for our idiots week? We got this part create for idiots by idiots.
I think you had one at one stage.
It's I think I just make up on the spot because it's so rare for a legend of the week that like we it can be kind of hard to actually just remember. So time passes so long. How can I remember a phrase that I said once in the space of a year? So our next story is about spring break. Happens every spring in America, Ken.
Really?
Knowledge for you there. In the city of Miami.
Where else would it be?
Yeah, but this year they're not too happy with the spring breakers.
I don't think they ever really are.
They had to declare a state of an emergency and then basically put in a curfew to curb the violence across the city after spring break. It's like spring break probably hasn't happened for the last 2 years because of COVID. So
That's just gone mad.
So like it's kind of, it was just building up. Everyone's just like suddenly waiting for it to come back, and then it comes back, and everyone's went a little too mental. And 5 people were shot. So like because it's Americans, there was 5 people injured during
because it was America.
Because it was America. There was like 5 people were wounded during shooting. So they're like, and there was a lot of violence. So this is a kind of they got lots of running themselves basically more than I did on St. Patrick's Day. So the order was made by the mayor, I think, and he was like, every year we don't look forward to spring break, we tolerate it, and we're getting pretty sick of it at this stage, which I thought was like, for a city that was built on cocaine money, it's a bit rich. It's like, well, you created this monster, now you have to live with consequences.
You started it.
Yeah, exactly. Like this, you see all this, right? The attention span of your population, the assessing, partying, drinking, and drugs. This is all you're doing. You just did this to yourselves.
Yeah. Now deal with the consequences.
Yeah. Now fucking deal with like 18-year-olds stabbing people and punching and fights breaking out, and then someone has a gun.
In America, they're probably not 18.
Imagine people going their age.
They're probably like 12.
12?
That's that's what happens here.
Well, here the drinking age is 18, so like you have 14-year-olds get a hand of an ID there and go out drinking. I imagine because it's 21, you have to look a little bit older. You're probably like 17, 16 going over.
Yeah, maybe.
I always feel like they look a lot older when they're younger. If you know what I'm saying.
They look older when they're younger.
So like, if you look at
Americans,
yeah, you look like an 18-year-old American person, human being. You look at like an 18-year-old Irish person. The Irish person looks about 12 compared to like the 24-year-old looking American person. Like if we have an image of what an 18-year-old person should look like, and you compare them, maybe this is TV where you have like a 24-year-old someone playing.
Yeah, I think it's just TV, Mark.
Yeah, I think it might be TV. Yeah, I think I just discovered it on my own there, Ken. I'm coming self-aware. Right before
that's good.
Yeah, right before everybody's eyes. So yeah, it's like that's like I thought it was like then going, oh, every year this happens because every year you have spring break.
Yeah,
like you could,
that might be the cause of it.
Yeah, like, you could guess what? You could close nightclubs at 12 o'clock. have people test for ID a lot better.
Yeah, ask everyone for ID like they do in Vegas.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly, and curb your drug addictions.
Curb your drug addiction.
Yeah, get a grip of yourself. This is Ireland speaking.
Yeah, god damn it.
Embarrassing to yourselves.
Yeah, you're embarrassing us, Miami.
Yeah. It was always something when I was younger. I always wanted to go to Miami and do like Mardi Gras and experience what that kind of is like.
Yeah, I've been to Miami
During spring break?
I haven't been during spring break, but I've been to Miami.
Yeah, it's quiet enough. It's meant to be after spring break. Like it's meant to be pretty quiet town. Well, I know there's still partying happens in it a lot.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's quite hot, I imagine.
Very, very hot.
Yeah, I think it might be too hot for me.
I don't like the heat at all.
Yeah, man, you must be like just like darting from one shadow of a tree to the next.
Yeah, I really, really don't like the fucking heat. And like, I got married in Vegas where it was 50 degrees. Like, that was a lot of shite.
Whose idea was that, Ken?
Which part?
The getting Vegas part, I imagine. I imagine it was a joint decision. It's one of these shotgun wed. Well, maybe Offaly and all
Vegas,
this.
Vegas was like a giant decision.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. He's always want to go to Vegas. Just too bad it couldn't be night all the time. I'd say it's
Yeah,
still pretty humid at night, though.
yeah. But like at nighttime, it gets to like nighttime is maybe like 20 degrees.
Yeah, so that's
So, like,
that'd be still too hot.
it's still, but everywhere is air conditioned, which is good.
Yeah, cool. You can drink to your heart's content once you're in the casinos. Yeah,
Drink. No drinking.
no drinking. So like so next story is about a lorry driver, and I know that one was a little bit short, but yeah, what do you have? And the lorry driver basically was arrested for pretending to be his neighbor.
As you do.
Yes, so he stole 60,000 of his dead neighbor's bank account, basically, by pretending to be him over the
And
phone.
in fairness, the neighbor wasn't using it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so he didn't have any like kids, so his neighbor didn't realize he had any family that would come looking for the money, and was just like, well, he's not using it anymore. No point just sitting there. So he pretended to be the neighbor and stole up to 60,000.
How did he get caught then?
We'll get into it. So David Trayland died age 78. So this is a guy who died, obviously, for the slow people. So it was believed that he had no beneficiaries, and Dean Thompson had been unofficially caring for him before his death. So he was basically probably his next door neighbor, knew he lived alone, knew he didn't have any family, and was just checking in on him, just being a nice guy, I guess. David Thompson, he basically pretended, when his neighbor died, pretended to be his neighbor and told the bank that he was very ill and wanted to sort out his funds, and was like basically slowly transferring himself the money through this. So the lorry driver, obviously being David Thompson, not being the dead guy.
Or maybe being the dead guy.
Maybe they're both lorry drivers and they used to have lunch together, and we should do more research. How about that? He was doing this for 2 years before he got caught and stole up to 60,000 in your man's savings by pretending to be him, being a pensioner. But he didn't.
And how old is this guy?
He's 54. Your man was 78.
How did he steal the money? He would just walk into the bank like.
No, he rang up the bank, say, I'm very ill. I can't really come in, but I need money transferred I need to sort out a bit of debt. I have a neighbour that's, I think he had like first amount was I think 20,000 that he transferred at first. I mean, but over a 2 year period he had transferred up to 60,000. Yeah, so he was basically ringing up the bank and go, hi, sorry again, I have to sort out another. Like the bank should have been like, here, he's just transferring the same guy all this money. But maybe he was like, I have this carer, he's buying me my food, he's buying this, can I transfer this? And he's doing it in one lump sums amount rather than like over the course of a week, which would be like more reasonable, I guess. Anyway,
he's minded. I promise he's minded me.
He's minding me. Well, he was before his death now. And so then his sister from who moved to New Zealand came back after he died 2 years later, probably just to check on the house and realize, oh, I had a brother who died and he didn't have any kids, so could probably sell his house, and I probably could check to see if I have any inheritance there, since it's just me and him left. And it was like, I found out that your man was basically, it came out that your man was basically stealing his money. The judge kind of was like, took in for the consideration that he was actually taking care of him before his death and had no kind of prior convictions. He first, when police first approached him about it for taking the money, he was saying that he claimed the money was gifted to him, but then later fully admitted to 5 counts of fraud and false representations in court. So now he's in prison for 2 years. So there you go, kids. Don't lie. It'll come back to bite you. But do help out your neighbours.
Don't steal your neighbour's shit.
Don't steal your neighbour's shit. Like, he could be like, well, I was entitled, if he was his unofficial carer. So he could go, oh, I was entitled to this over I think he took care of him over like 2 decades. Like, it wasn't just like over a few years. Like, for 20 years, he was kind of like keeping an eye on him, getting him stuff, being kind like that. So he's just like, oh, well, it was sort of like I was just basically collecting money that I was owed for caring for him. But like, I guess.
So you're feeling sorry for him?
Like, I do feel a little bit bad for him. It was wrong what he did. He basically was taking his neighbour's money, but like, he didn't obviously know. First of all, he had any relatives left. So whose money is it? And he probably convinced himself like he probably would want me to have it because I was the one taking care of him for the last 20 years, and he has no other family left. So I think he'd rather see me have it than the banks or whatever. Whoever happens if you don't have any beneficiaries. And it was like, didn't bank that his sister would come back from New Zealand to be like, where's the money?
Give me back my money,
give
please.
Give me my brother's money that I haven't seen probably in 40 years. I want all of it to give to my grandkids.
It's my money now.
Yeah, so like that would kind of feel like a little bit kind of like he probably does deserve some kind of compensation for his time taking care of your man, but you know, he did also take 60,000 of money. That's not
He kind of did also steal a lot of money.
Yeah, an awful lot of money. He wasn't like, I'll just take enough to keep me going.
It'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll be okay.
Eating my lunch on my own is not the same anymore. You know, I have to buy myself out of misery.
About 60,000 will do it.
Yeah, 60,000 would get me a nice trip to Miami for spring break.
Yeah. I hope I go to Miami, please.
Yeah, I always wanted to go. Hopefully it's not that violent.
Anymore.
Yeah, so what's your take on it? Do you think he did bad and he deserves to go to jail for 2 years? Or do you kind of sympathise with him?
No, I don't sympathise with him at all.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I have a bit of a soft spot for him. I do think he probably was a nice guy who just did something stupid and didn't realise it at the time.
I think you can be a bit soft, Mark.
Yeah, I think I am a bit of a pushover. I'm kind of gullible. I'm like, oh, well, you took care of him. Keep the 60,000.
Keep the 60 grand.
That bitch doesn't deserve it. That money hungry pensioner over there, she won't be going to Miami. You keep it there. Get out of my court.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Bring her to Miami. Okay, how about this? You both go to Miami.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. Now is actually a very rare time for our podcast because it's now time for our Legends of the Week.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is created for legends,
by
legends, and it's where we talk about people doing awesome things. So, what's our legend? Who's our Legend of the Week? First of all,
our Legend of the Week is Mike Tyson.
Well, yeah, he's another person that probably should permanently be on our Legends of the Week. But go on,
Yeah.
why this week has he broken the mold to make him a super legend of the week?
Have you seen the thing where the guy went into a comedy club with a gun?
Oh yeah, I did actually. I kind of caught a headline of this. Yeah,
And Mike Tyson was basically in there, and the only person who didn't shit themselves was Mike Tyson. Everybody else got up and was running away, and Mike Tyson. Guess what Mike Tyson did?
punched him.
Mike Tyson gave the guy a hug.
Did he say it? He was like, "Hey man, you need a hug."
I don't think he said much. He just kind of like gestured at the guy. The guy walked over. He gave him a hug.
He's like,
The
"Come
guy-
on, come here, come on, come on, yeah, come on, come on. You need a hug. You need a hug, man."
And then the guy left.
He's like, "Oh my god, that was the best hug in my life. I'm happy. I can die happy. Let's go."
I still don't know what the fuck it was about.
There's an armed robber, and
I don't think he was an armed robber. He went in and he was like being disruptive, and like this guy,
where they going?
when he was a security guy, was like kind of calm down or fuck off or whatever, and he pulled out a gun.
Yeah, he's like, "Don't tell me to fuck off, bro." And Mike Tyson, like, "Here, come on."
Yeah, and everybody started like freaking the fuck out as you would.
Yeah.
And Tyson just sits there.
Yeah, you need a hug. Come here to me.
He just sits there, and then he's like, "Here."
He's probably so fucking high, man. he has his own like weed farm. I imagine he was out of it. He's like, "This is not real life, man. Let's go." I want to hug him. He looks like he needs a hug.
Yes, that's what happened there.
That's better than one of my friends who was being robbed in a shop, and at the time before the robbery, he was drawing a picture of the cat. So as the store was being robbed, he continued to draw the picture of the cat. The two people who were robbing the store, senior man was scribbling down something and thought he was like either taking a description of the van, of them, but they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" So his panic goes, "I'm drawing a cat." To the point where the robbers did not believe him and forced him to show him the picture. So he had to show him the picture of the cat that he was drawing. And he said he looked at the cat, looked at him, looked at the cat again, looked at him, and then walked straight out. You're going to look a little bit disgusted and walk straight out.
Yeah, you probably would be kind of like, "What is up with this?"
What is like this guy is zero fucks given. Like clearly can see some like robbing things out of the shop, just taking whatever they want, and we're like, didn't give zero fucks. All right, yeah, just gonna keep drawing my cat here. Get paid by the hour. Either way, probably get some fucking danger money now coming my way.
It depends where you work. Sometimes you get nothing for it.
No, you're back in 7 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we'll leave it there. We're 11th week. We finally left on a high. I think we can now. We'll throw my friend into being a legend of the week as well. I won't give his name. I guess he gets in trouble where he works. But yeah, leave it there. We have 2 legends of the week, and 3 if you take in Tyson Fury
For some random reason.
because he's a legend. Tyson Fury is a great guy. He deserves it, right, Ken? He just deserves it.
Okay, yeah, he deserves it.
I was going to go onto Tyson Fury's Twitter page and just see what he said recently, and seeing if he had said that noteworthy, he'd make him a legend of the week.
I was just telling me he's a legend.
Yeah. Yeah, the sweet about it. You're a legend.
Just see what happens.
Yeah. I was wondering if McGregor has replied to any of his messaging.
I would say he has not.
No, he's probably saying, well, I guess he doesn't get his phone in jail, does he?
Oh, but he's out now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. They only held him for like a couple of hours.
Ah, fair enough. Grand. Anyway, we'll leave it there. we're not going to get into talking about McGregor. We'll be back. Not next week. We'll be off next week. I'm off my holidays. I'm off to Hungary. Hopefully we have some listeners over there.
Hey, you might meet some fans.
Fans over there in the airport signing a few autographs. You know, the usual. So go listen to other episodes that we have if you haven't.
Listen to other episodes. Listen to the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, but listen to all the other episodes that we have out there, and then we'll be back next week. Not next week, the week after next, with another episode. And I can tell you all about my holidays. We'll have idiots. We'll have shite. We'll have stories.
We'll have jam-packed.
And we'll have some bit of culture, because I can tell you about some weird thing about Hungary that you didn't know beforehand, or maybe you did because you lived there. But anyway, we'll be back next week. Not next week, week after next. Talk to you then.
Good luck.
Oh, no.